lovely to see you all and lovely to see some new faces. So I'm just going to start us off with saying a little bit about who we are and the recruitment process. So here we are. We're a supportive community for the ambitious individuals of Warwick. We were founded a couple of years ago now, but our founding purpose is to unite people on campus and to help people grow professionally and personally. And we really hope that we can have some new people to our family, and hope to receive your applications. And so we exist, as I said, we were created on the need to provide professional and personal development, because we saw that this was something that perhaps was kind of missing for the founders in their time at Warwick. And so we thought that it was something that we could do, and that we hopefully continue to do now. So what do we do? Most people have been to a lot of our events, so I'll keep this short, but essentially we do careers events, spilling the tea, and socials. And I'd say of those three, the most unique to us is our spilling the tea, which Emily has done a brilliant job at running this year. And our spilling the tea we talk about topics that aren't really talked about enough in society, and we provide a safe, confidential and non-judgmental space to do that. So we think it's really important to provide that for people, so that we can just give people a chance to talk about what they really need to talk about. And we've got our exclusive announcement, which isn't that exclusive because it's the purpose of today, but it's that we're open for recruitment. Yay! So our roles available for this year have changed slightly from what we offered last year. So we have our president, vice president, head of careers and sponsorship, welfare and wellbeing events coordinator, women's summit coordinator, social secretary, head of community, head of marketing and strategy, and head of creative and design. And so we're going to talk these through a little bit more as we get to the exec. But yes, hang on with it to find out what those mean a bit more. So the road to recruitment, if you're interested, and I hope you are, applying for this, we have a form that will be going up after this event, which is just, there'll be a few questions about you, a few questions about why you want the role, and then a chance to attach your CV. And then from there, we will create a shortlist in term 1, week 3, or by term 1, week 3, I should say. And then we'll be doing our interviews between weeks 1 and weeks 3 of term 3. And hopefully, please, some of those can be in person. So now we'll move on to the exciting part where you get to meet everyone else who's been a part of it this year. I should have introduced myself really at the start, but essentially, hi, I'm Ellie. I'm the president at the moment. But I'll touch more on what I've done at the end of the exec bit. But if we pass over now to the exec, and we start off with Flo.
Oh, I was not expecting myself to be first. Hi everyone, I'm Flo. I'm a second year economics student, and I was the treasurer this year. Tarana Burke is, I think that's how you say her name, is the founder of the Me Too movement and my inspirational woman, which is what I saw on the page. What else do I need to say about? So basically, my role this year has been to monitor all the finances, try and secure sponsorship money from firms. So a lot of the role at the beginning, kind of working with the sponsorship officer to put together a sponsorship package to secure funding for most of the year. As a small society, it's not a huge amount of funding, so it's not too much of a stress. And then just generally over the year, regulating what's happening. And then next year, should I talk about next year?
Yeah.
Yep. My role will be combined with, let me just try and find the message from Ellie. I was not going to. My role will be combined with vice president position. So basically, you'll be assisting the president with the decision-making process, understand all the committee roles and adapt to support other roles accordingly, assist the head of careers and sponsorship in creating materials to organise a sponsorship package, keep track of all income and expenditure, being aware of all finances important to the president, and managing bank account transactions. So yeah, it's pretty straightforward, basically helping the president and making sure we don't lose any money, basically. I hope that was clear.
Do you want to end on, Flo, what you've enjoyed about your time in Galvos Exec?
I think most of these studying the teas. Like, I didn't go to any in my first year, and then this year I've been to basically everyone apart from a few I've had to dip out of. But yes, I've really enjoyed them because this year, and I don't know if I'll be saying next year, they've been taking place on a Sunday, like afternoon, as most people know, which means for me, like I said, I could really start my week well. Like it was a part of my weekly routine to always go on a Sunday afternoon. If I didn't go, I'd start off on Monday and I'd be like, wake up and be like, something feels wrong. Like, what is this? And then it would gradually get to the conversation of like, I didn't go study the tea. So yeah, that's what I've enjoyed most, studying teas with Emily. It's been really enjoyable, and I've been able to talk about a lot of different things that I haven't really ever considered before.
Brilliant. Thank you, Flo. Next is you again, unless Maya's joined. Has Mia joined? No? Do you want to say about me as well?
Okay, so in collaboration with the treasurer is corporate relations officer. The corporate relations person is the person who reaches out to the firm. So they kind of work together on a sponsorship package, but the corporate relations person is the one who ultimately is in contact with the firms, with the treasurer does more the behind the scenes stuff. So yeah, I mean, it's basically reaching out to firms, organisations, other societies. I think this year the role is being combined with careers as well.
Yeah. Do you want me to? Yeah. So essentially, this coming year, we're going to combine corporate relations with a new careers events role. So that will mean doing fortnightly careers events that will, what we really think makes Girl Boss careers events unique is that they really cater to everyone. It doesn't matter what degree you do. It doesn't matter what sort of future you want to go into in terms of what sector. We want to always provide events that are good for everyone and that you can really benefit from. And so it will be the duty of this new person to create these events fortnightly, and then also alongside will be this, as Flo said, corporate relations aspect, and we combine them because we feel like they work really well together, because you can use the contacts that you get through being corporate relations to then bring in speakers for the careers events aspect. So that was that role. So yeah, if we move on. Next is social secretary, which is Maya. Is Maya in the room? No. If not, I can talk through what Maya does. But essentially, Maya's our social secretary. Ruth Bader Ginsburg is her girl boss. But essentially, her role is doing, again, fortnightly socials. So we do 1 week that's careers, 1 week that's socials. And the socials are really ranging. We don't want to make them too constrained. So for example, when we're in person, they're not all drinking, they're not all sober, there's a nice mixture, and we really just want socials to be a wholesome environment where you can relax after a hard week's work, and just have some fun with other people. Also, the role of the social secretary is to do socials for the exec team, and so those are pretty self-explanatory. It's sort of, we don't really structure it. It's sort of whenever we want one, we ask them to do one. But they're a lot of fun and a great way to build a team. And I don't know about the other exec, but I've really enjoyed our exec socials this year. So next, we move on to Beth. Beth, you are here. Hello, Beth.
Hello, I'm Beth. I'm second year English Lit, and my girl boss is Jane Austen, which we love to see. So my role isn't existing next year. So I'm going to talk about the Women's Summit Coordinator, which is something new to our society this year, having been a collaborating society in the March or this month. So next year, we're one of the main organisers. So kind of like the key skills for this role would be to represent Girl Boss as one of the main organisers. So there'll be 2 other societies you'd be working with, generating innovative ideas for the summit and for the speakers that will be coming to the summit, and then you'll be getting into contact with them and organising the event, and then also working with the president to make sure everyone knows what's going on and there's good communication between yourself, the people you're working with, and the Girl Boss exec. And you need to be flexible and willing to be passionate about what the summit represents. So yeah.
Perfect. Thank you, Beth. And also, Beth, what would you say you've enjoyed most in your time in the exec?
I think it's been so nice to work like as a team. Although it's been virtual this year, it's been really nice to work together. Mm-hmm.
Lovely, lovely. Thank you very much. Now on to Harriet. Is Harriet here? I just keep shouting out.
Yeah, I'm
here. Yay. Harriet, do you want to go ahead?
So again, similar to Beth, like my role's been like a bit changed. Next year has turned into like community, head of community. But I'll just quickly talk like about what I did this year and then like how it will adapt. So basically, I in essence helped like create the community page, so like the actual Facebook one that's like now up and running, and that was really interesting. So obviously it's given like a platform for Girl Boss and like people to be able to talk and like discuss. So that's what I did. There isn't really like a set role, like it's kind of just if there's ideas at the time, then it'll just kind of go from that. For example, like I didn't know I'd like help make the community page, but it just ended up helping. So you've got to be quite flexible, I assume, but you don't need any kind of particular like strengths, maybe just like organization and just like being able to like I don't know like carry out like a vision. And then so we had like a campaign which was primarily run by Emily, was the men's mental health campaign, and that was really interesting. But again, I didn't really cover that much in that one. But then in the last couple of weeks I ran the creativity campaign, which was like so much fun because it just meant that like I could incorporate like some of my own interests into ways in which like to help like the Girl Boss community. So again, I think if whoever does take over like the campaign kind of element, I think it's really interesting because there isn't that kind of fixed thing on what needs to be seen. So for example, like creativity is not naturally the first thing that pops to people's mind when we think about like female empowerment, but again it's like something that you can like bring your own interest and like adapt accordingly. But yeah, so this year it's been changed to like head of the community. So this is going to be more, this is a bit more like you'll be running the community page that was created this year. So like creating like the newsletter for it, and overseeing the Girl Boss community in general. And this will include like writing its weekly newsletter and generating ideas for its betterment. And then also it'd include organising new episodes of the Girl Boss podcast and different ways in which we can expand Girl Boss. And basically it's kind of flexible, so it just basically enables people who are creative to, you know, run with it and see how to like expand the Girl Boss community. So yeah.
Perfect, thank you. And what would you say you've enjoyed most about your time in the exec?
Probably the creativity week I really enjoyed doing, and then also like actually creating the community page was really nice to see, because I think it was so needed, and then actually like helping like bring that into like fruition kind of thing. It meant that it's now given so many like people, like especially on Warwick campus, like the opportunity to have this kind of safe place. So they're probably my two things.
Lovely, thank you so much. Okay, next, Mioe.
Hello.
Hello. Go ahead.
Okay, hi, I am Mioe. I am the head of marketing for term 1 and bit of term 2. It was a bit off for a bit, but I'm back right now, yay. And my girl boss is Phoebe Waller-Bridge, though I am tempted to change it to Phoebe Bridges, which is very similar. But anyways, so in terms of head marketing and strategy, your role would be to manage the social media channels such as Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, which plays a lesser role, as well as LinkedIn, and plan and execute social media campaigns, such as put up the event pages, put up the event details, countdowns, and like stories about the events, things like that, as well as to help maximize our outreach and engagement, such as posting in other groups, working with our outreach team to cross-platform promotions with like other societies, things like that, as well as lay out like a nice strategy for promotion as stated on the PowerPoint, whatever. And this, you have to make sure our layout on the different social media pages look nice, as well as work closely with events and creative and design to make sure everything is up to speed. We have enough quotes to go on, things like that. And in terms of skills, obviously previous experience in PR and marketing can help, but I think it's quite flexible in that even if you don't have too much experience but you're really passionate about it, you will be able to take on the role, as well as like having some time to work on this responsibility will be nice as well, because sometimes putting up pages, writing details can take some time. Yeah, so yeah, if you have any questions, just ask me. Yay.
Perfect. Thank you, Mio. And what would you say is your favorite part of this year?
I guess just I think like working with all other members, like although we didn't get the opportunity to meet each other in real life much at all, but just talking with you guys, being really passionate about it is just pretty amazing. Yeah, thank you.
Well, thank you. Okay, next, Emily.
Oh, it was the anticipation of when am I going to come up. I'm Emily. Currently, I'm the events coordinator. My girl boss is Serena Williams. She just never lets anyone shrink her down, and I love that. So I'll just explain what I do, and then my role's changing a bit, so I'll explain what the new role is. So currently, I'm in charge of designing, executing, hosting wellbeing and careers events. So that entails making events, obviously. But the new role that's been created is welfare and wellbeing events coordinator. So this is getting rid of the career event creating side of it, and it primarily focuses on the wellbeing aspect. So this would involve organising and hosting our flagship weekly Spill the Tea sessions. So it would be coming up with topics to discuss in these sessions. It would be hosting the sessions, and so those happen weekly. And then you'd also be looking to do more wellbeing events throughout the term as well. That could include yoga, journaling, guided meditation. Those are a few of the ones I've done recently. So yeah, and you'd be in charge. I haven't had to do this, but you'd be in charge of booking rooms on campus. Fingers crossed things can return to in person. And you'd also need to make sure and ensure the welfare of members through active support and guidance. So I suppose in terms of skills that this role requires, I think passion is definitely number one. And you need to work with others to organize these events, whether it be the marketing or other societies that you're going to be kind of collaborating with. So your ability to work with others is important. You also need an open mind, no judgment, because ultimately you're there to support anyone and anyone's needs, and those will vary. So open mind and impartiality is important, and also just be personable, build relationships with people. You need to be able to talk to people and make them feel comfortable. I suppose that's one of the things that I've loved about the position, is forming close relationships with members and members of the exec alike. And I think that just it doesn't make it a job doing this. The position isn't a job. It's enjoyable because I've formed friendships with people on the exec and also in the community. So yeah.
Thank you. You've definitely. Would you like to say any more about what you've enjoyed, or I think you covered it very well there.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's all cool. I have to say now. But if anyone has any more questions, just ask me.
Lovely. Thank you very much. Now on to Gabby. If we can. Gabby?
Yeah, hi.
Yeah. Hello.
Okay. Me and Yolanda, we kind of split it, so we might have to be kind of at the same time. We're both like the co-heads of creative and design. So we were first going to talk about like how we have to design and create all the marketing materials and necessary graphics. So what I do for that is like I make the templates, and I also make the quotes for like, we have all the inspirational quotes on our feed. So I do that as well. And then Yolanda, if you wanted to say like your part.
Yeah, so we have like different events, and also I make the drawings that kind of coincide with that. And we have like the Girl Boss of the Week post, which I make the drawings for that as well. But the actual writing of that is like open to our exec members to like, submit who they think is a girl boss, and I will just draw who that person is. Yeah.
Well, and then I don't know if you wanted to talk about this or me. We kind of had a question mark.
Yeah.
But this is about the next part, which is like branding. And like we've kept this quite consistent with last year. So we basically just like softened the colors and the graphics a bit and varied the background. But like that's kind of open to like whatever direction you want to go in next year. And then the other part is the website. But like I wouldn't be put off by it. I just wanted to say like it's really easy to use. Also, I have like an app for it on my phone, so like you can just manage it through there. And yeah, I don't really do that much yet on that. I just put up some graphics with spilling the tea and stuff. But I am working on a new theme, but I'm sure whoever takes over could carry on with that. And then Yolanda, if you wanted to talk about like the day-to-day stuff.
Yeah, so we are like in constant we're constantly talking with other exec members, especially the events coordinator, so Emily and Mioe and Ellie. We'll constantly have a group chat where people will just tell us what graphics they need and we'll make them as soon as we can. So you will be constantly talking with other exec members, liaising with them, and I think you have to very much take initiative because you are the one who are going to be creating these posts. Obviously, you can ask like, "Is this okay?" But most of the time, you will be. I think we were the ones who were very much like, "Yeah, this is what is going to be published," and obviously everyone was happy with that. But yeah, we did have to take some initiative with what designs was published in the end. But yeah, that was pretty much our roles.
Lovely, thank you. And should we start off with Gabby? Gabby, what's been your highlight of the year?
Pretty much just the community, because obviously nothing's been going on in person, but it's been quite nice like having people to check in with, especially at like the spilling the tea every week. That's been really nice.
Lovely. And same to you, Yolanda?
Yeah, I think it's just like getting to know all the exec members. Obviously, again, as everyone said, couldn't meet each other in person, but we've been able to get close. And I just really liked making our like International Women's Day posts, just like showing everyone like why we all thought, like reasons why we all thought each other were like girl bosses. That was really heartwarming and it was really wholesome. So yeah.
It definitely was. Thank you so much. And then we're on to me. So hi, I'm Ellie. I'm the current president. My girl boss is my nana because she's a fierce Irish lady, is how I would describe, and she's undergone hardships and she moved to this country on her own when she was in her 20s. So she's properly a strong woman. And then in terms of the role of president, so it's generally overseeing everything that's going on and making sure that you know what you want overall, what your vision is for the year, and trying to implement that. And that's not always the easiest thing. I think this past year has proved that little things can change quite quickly. So I wasn't expecting COVID to be a thing when I signed up for the role, but it's still been a brilliant experience. And I've really loved getting to know everyone virtually as well. And so essentially it is just doing a little bit of everything sometimes, which is great. And I love being able to do all the different things. But yeah, it's making the decisions as well at the end of the day. You have to be able to hear others, but also you have to be able to make your decisions and stick to them. But yes, that's basically the role of president. It's a brilliant role and it's something that I've really loved doing. And it's just you really feel like you're making a difference, especially with a society. Sorry, my earpods keep falling out. It's exciting with such a young society as this because you really feel like you're having an impact and you're setting it up to become even bigger. And so that's a really wonderful thing, and especially for a society like ours. Personally, I came to my first Girl Boss event in week 2 of Freshers Week, and I just found it to be a brilliant place because everyone was there for me and everyone listened to me, and it was the first time I actually felt kind of at home on campus. And so I really felt that passion for it, and that's what's driven me through 2 years within Girl Boss, and it's something that's really wonderful, and I'd really encourage anyone to be a part of Girl Boss. I'm not biased or anything, but I would really encourage everyone to be in Girl Boss because it really is it means a lot to me, and I like to say it means a lot to the other members of the exec as well, because I do feel like we have an impact, which is lovely. Now onto our events over Easter. Emily, do you want to talk a little bit about these?
Of course. So our first one is on Thursday. It's an Easter themed event, and essentially we're just going to be doing some Easter crafts, and that kind of, I'm going to be making an Easter bunny crown thing, but it kind of depends on what materials you have, so that's kind of up to you, what you do. You could make an Easter card, or things like that, but it's just an opportunity to catch up, have a chit chat, and we'll kind of discuss what people's Easter plans are and what Easter means, and just all things Easter, and hopefully it'll be really lovely. So that's Thursday at 4, and then sorry, I don't know if you can hear, but my cat's meowing, so please ignore that. And then we also have 3 revision sessions. You can see the dates on Ellie's lovely slides. Those are just opportunities for silent study altogether. It just kind of holds people accountable for, even though we're all doing different things, it's quite nice just to sit there at the same time and just do your independent study. And it also, I've allocated a bit of time at the beginning and the end to have a chit chat. So it's just nice to keep a point of contact over Easter, especially during COVID. It just gives us that kind of sense of human interaction, which I think is important. So I look forward to seeing all of you if you have time to come along.
Lovely, thank you very much. And as Harriet said before, we do have a Girl Boss community Facebook group for those that are interested, for those that don't know already, and it's just a very wholesome place where we do our newsletter, and we also just talk about our events and welcome new people to the community, and just generally bond. But there's the link to that and a little code I made before, but I don't know whether it'll still work, but we'll hope it does. So that's that. And then finally, the next steps. So you can see our website, which Gabby has been doing lots of lovely work on. You can follow us on all our social media accounts, which are all Warwick Girl Boss. Our membership is completely free. And also because we're not part of the SU, we're a completely independent society. So you don't even have to pay the however much it is per year to be a part of us. We're just completely free, and so we I've been a bit forward by saying next step to apply, but we hope you apply, and we really look forward to receiving your applications. And now I shall stop sharing the screen, and if you have any questions, please do go ahead. If you have any questions that you don't want me to record, then feel free and I'll stop the recording, and I can also stop the recording at any time if anyone would like that. But if you have any questions, please go ahead.
I just will mention one thing. Apologies if someone did say, but we do weekly exec meetings as well. Did someone say that? Or
no? That's a very good point.
No, okay. I just thought I'd put that out there. We do. I mean, the time will be different based on people's timetables, but we picked a slot on a Monday afternoon that suited everyone, and it's just a good opportunity for everyone to fill in with each other what everyone's up to, and just kind of clarify what's going on during the week. So those are really useful. So I just thought I'd let you know that we do those as well.
Perfect, thank you. Anyone else got any questions?
I just thought I'd just talk because I know. Like, I was going to say, I felt like on the note of our weekly meetings, it's really nice because Girl Boss is like a small exec that like things you can actually give your contributions and give your thoughts on what's happening at the meetings, and like they're really taken on board. It's not like, oh, just because like you're someone's the events person, they're going to do exactly their way. They'll come to the Emily will come to the meeting and be like, oh, I think about doing this. What do you guys think? Like the revision session saying like you like had that idea, and then I was like, oh, I think it's a good idea to like add 15 minutes at the beginning of chit chat times, because otherwise no one's going to study the first 15 minutes. And then so I feel like it's quite nice because it's such a small exec and such a close-knit group that people can give their thoughts, and like you can actually feel like you're making a difference, as Ellie kind of said. So
yeah, definitely. Thank you.
we really value like each other's opinions and stuff, and I'll always run things by other people just to see if they think it's worthwhile. So we all collaborate really well like that. And then like added to that, please don't be put off by oh, I'm not part of the exec this year, what if I don't like merge well with everyone, because Gabby and I joined later, and we instantly just fit, and Yolanda, sorry, and we instantly just fit in. Everyone was really welcoming. It's just in everyone's nature to be really welcoming, and it's completely easy to fit in. So please never be put off by that.
Yeah, equally, like I go to any girls events in my first year, and then now this year, like it's completely flipped and I've gone to like loads. I can't even imagine a time when I wasn't going to girls events.
Definitely. Oh, I'll add Warren. Yes, I do like really, I'm so glad that this year especially we've been able to build like a close exec, because I mean obviously it's been different versus if we were in person, and I think it's so wonderful that we all come from different degrees, we all come from different backgrounds, and we're still we formed this nice cute little family of exec through Girl Boss, which is lovely. Yeah. Any more questions? I can give away hints and tips if any. No, I don't know what hints and tips I'd have, but if anyone wants any more information or anything.
Yeah, the other thing I was going to say is don't be intimidated by the application process at all. Like I remember my application didn't tell any of this. I read it like in like 20 minutes for a night out because the deadline was at midnight, and I was like, I'm gonna be clubbing then. So I was literally writing it. My friend's like, "Flo, why don't you read it?" And obviously I got the role, so it's not too intense. Like it doesn't obviously put effort in, but it doesn't have to be like a massive big deal. It's application process. It's really just like get your motivation, like engage your motivation, and see if you're like motivated and committed and actually want to be part of Girl Boss.
Well, so sorry, I speak for England, but just added to that, please don't be disheartened if you don't get the position you go for, because there are other positions available later in the, you can still be involved even if you don't get a position. So please don't kind of let that fear stop you from applying. And also if it's not successful for any reason, please don't be put off by that. I just thought I'd say that.
Yeah, exactly, because this coming year, the plan is that when we create ambassadors, and so we've got some ambassadors on the call, when we have ambassadors next year, the ambassadors will be quite sort of specific to a role, and so that'll be quite an exciting opportunity as well. If you didn't get, say you went for marketing and you didn't get marketing, then you could be sort of a deputy in that part, so it'll be an exciting thing. And yeah, just generally the application process, there's a word limit, but even if you like, I'll read them. I won't care if you go a lot under. I won't care if it's a little bit over. Like it's not strict. We just want to get a grasp of who you are, why you want to be a part of the exec, and then we can find out more about you in interviews as well. But yeah, and we're nice. Well, I hope you see from this that we're quite nice. But yeah, although Beth can attest, and a few other people can attest, I can be a little bit scary. I turn on a different side, but I'll be nice. But yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about. You're literally not scary at all.
Well, I was scary to Beth. Maybe it was because I knew Beth before, so I was like, I have to be scary. The evil glare came down. But yeah, I try to be a bit more, I don't know, Alan Sugar. But yeah, Warren was on the call briefly, but Warren is our founder, and she interviewed me, and I take inspiration from her because she's got a terrifying she has a terrifying interview face, so I take inspiration from that. But it's totally chill, and it shouldn't take too long. We just wanted to get a grasp of who you are.